I've had this book for a while now, and I want to start using patterns and playing around with some colors that I really love. So I found a print that I liked. This is just rocks. I like the lines, and I like really the just aesthetic of it being dark and light. I really like that. So I am using Schmincke's masking fluid. So it's Schmincke's masking fluid, and it comes with this applicator that's like a pen. And so all I did was take it and lay it on my paper and squirt it out in a line. That's all I did, and you'll see that on my paper in a minute. I am using the Lunar Colors by Daniel Smith. So I have Lunar Black, Lunar Violet, and Lunar Blue. I wanted something really dark and rich, and I like that these are all granulating, so I'm going to be dropping them into each other. Plus, I'm going to be splashing, but I wanted to stick with the dark colors. There's also Lunar Earth and Lunar Red Rock, but I'm not using those on this piece. I have a Bowerbird palette. I have the Lunar Blue, Lunar Violet, and Lunar Black already squirted out. I'll be using my Da Vinci Casino brush. This is the number 2, the quill brush. I wanted something a little more full body so that it will help the paint go on really quite easily. And then for my sketchbook, I'm using a Strathmore 500 series mixed media paper. And this is 11 by 14, 90 pounds. I've already got a little section drawn off, so I drew a little rectangle, and then I drew rocks. So rocks are any shape. I just started drawing the big ones, and then I put a couple smaller ones to kind of fill the space a little bit. And then, like I said, I just took this, opened it up, and made lines with the masking fluid. I really like this masking fluid. It dries quite quickly, even though it's thick. So you can see some of these are really fat, and it just feels like rubber, like a rubber band kind of. And I'm hoping that this will work really great. I want to just take my time adding colors to each of the rocks, and then it has to dry completely before I can rub off the masking fluid. That is the part that usually makes me impatient because I want to peel it off right away. You do have to wait, because with wet paper you can easily peel this off and it will peel the paper off. So you have to wait for it to be totally dry. So let's have some fun with this. I'm going to start from the top and just kind of work my way down. It's just easier, and I'll keep my hand out of it that way. This is fresh paint. Usually I work with drier paint, so we'll see how this goes. I want different thicknesses of paint, so some heavier, some not as heavy. Just water on my brush now, so I've rinsed my brush. Okay, I am gonna splash. I'm splashing for a couple reasons today. I'm splashing because it helps them granulate a little better. I drop in some solid color here. And I absolutely love the texture. So when I splash, I dip my 3 fingers into the first knuckle, clean water, and then I kind of flick it down. So I want to see it moving. There we go. This lavender is so dark, or this violet is so dark a color. I really love it. Just water now. I'm going to do this big one with black here, but I'm going to put in some of the violet once the black is in. Going to pick up some of the violet now. You can barely tell the difference between the two. Just water now. Splash. I'm going to continue painting. Enjoy the music. that's it for the painting. You can see I tried to get a nice variety of different colors. This is the only rock with all 3 colors. And I like the way the blue and the violet and the black show up in different ways. I tried to make dark ones, but then some lighter ones as well. I just really wanted a variety here. That's all I was going for. So now this has to totally dry, and then I'll be back and show you how I remove the masking fluid. Okay, this is totally dry. It's not wet, it's not cold. The page is laid flat. So now it's time to remove the little masking fluid. You can do it with your finger and just kind of peel it away. It takes a little longer, but it comes off pretty easily. You can see there that those white lines, but they also have, this is like, I call it a rubber cement picker-upper. I really don't know the name of it, but I'll have it in the video description box. And it's meant for picking up things like this. It's kind of sticky, so as it goes over it kind of peels it back. But you see, it really doesn't go any faster than doing it with your fingers. It does help you get into the skinnier lines a little easier because it kind of grabs it and then pulls it. Those were skinny. And what you're left with is just like, can you see on the end here? It's like little pieces, and I just pull those off and then I'll throw them all away. So let me bring you up close so you can see one. I'll do this big guy here. It's pretty fat. See it lifting, and then you just pull it back. Look at that, so pretty. Now when you're testing masking fluid too, always do a test because paper does matter. So this is a higher quality paper, the Strathmore here. It's a 500 series and it's 90 pound. I have had it work on studio. It works on Fabriano studio paper. It works great on any Arches or Fabriano 100% cotton paper. I haven't tried the ball hung, but I would always do a small test, you know, just in a little bitty section, put some down and then paint over it, let it dry, and then see if it's going to lift. Because different masking fluids work differently. Some you have to let dry a real long time. This one dries pretty quick, which is why I really like it. And I can get really thin lines on with this as well. You can put it on with a brush. You can, like an applicator. I use the applicator for this, but the brush you can get really, really fine lines. And I've done a video with that. I will link it in the description box so you can see it done with applying it by a brush. When you are using a brush, do not use your good brushes because it will ruin them. I buy like a little kids set, but I always look for something with a really big point, and I will list this in the description box as well. You get like 6 or 8 of them for like $4. It's great. And just wash it out really good with soap when you're finished applying it. I can't wait to bring you closer so you can see this beautiful stuff. When you think you have it all peeled off, run your fingers through it and you will feel like a kind of sticky point if you still have some there. Look how beautiful that turned out. I'm so thrilled with this. I love the granulation of the Lunar colors. Using the blue, the black, and the violet was really, really a fun idea. I love that the violet and the black look so close, but then that bright blue really just makes it shine. I'm going to bring it up so you can see the granulation inside and the texture. I want you to look at this one here. See all those little flecks of the black in there? So that is the granulation. I want you to think that the granulation kind of sinks down into the texture of the paper. And so that's what you get. So all that little granulation you're seeing everywhere, all those little speckles, that is the granulation of color. Wow, that's pretty. So I hope you enjoyed seeing masking fluid in action. If you were inspired by this pattern video, please like, comment, or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.